Hi, welcome to Eve's Crochet channel. Today I'll be taking you on a tutorial on how I made this alpine wrap top. For these crochets, I'm using yeyewool, which is very common in Nigeria for crocheting, and a hook size of 2.50 mm. We're going to need our tape for taking measurements and then a scissors for cutting out the yarn. For the bust part, I'm going to be using 2 strands of wool. I'll be adding them together in order to give me the thickness I want for the bust part. Now we are going to measure the underbust, just one part of the underbust, because we're going to be using it to work for both busts. So create a slip knot and then chain 50. I'm chaining 50 because that's the total amount that is going to give me the inch that I want, and I'm going for 10 inches. So at this point I'm done with my 50 chains. I'm going to measure with my tape to ensure that I get the exact measurement I was looking for. So while I measured it, it was giving me 10 inches without being stretched, but when it is stretched, it gave 11 to 11.5 inches. For the first row, we are making single crochet. So we're going to make a single crochet for the first row. So this is the end of the single crochet for the first row. So going over to the second row, we are going to be creating double crochet across. So chain 2, then flip your hook and then make your double crochet, and then I'll meet you at the end once you are done with your double crochet for row 2. So we're at the end of the second row. Make our last double crochet, and then you chain 1, you flip your work, and then for the third row we're going to single crochet across. So the first row was a single crochet, second row double crochet, now the third row is a single crochet across. So we're at the end of our third row, creating the last single crochet, then chain 2 and then flip your work. So for this part you have to pay very good attention, because this is actually the part that will start creating the alpine pattern. So for the alpine pattern, we are going to using a front loop double crochet, then a normal double crochet on the single stitch. So the front loop double crochet and then a normal single crochet on the single stitch. So to create the front loop double crochet, we're going to be passing through the double crochet of the second row, and then you place your normal double crochet on the single stitch. So let's get to it. So yarn over, insert your hook at the second double crochet of the second row, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through the remaining 2. Now for the normal double crochet, you insert your hook at the third single stitch of the third row and create your normal double crochet. For the front loop double crochet, you go to the second double crochet after your first loop that you created. That's your first front loop that you created. So basically what we are going to be doing at this part is a front loop double crochet, then a normal double crochet, a front loop double crochet and a normal double crochet. A clearer view of what I just explained. So you chain 2, you flip your work, then yarn over and insert your hook at the second double crochet of the second row. So this particular one is going to serve as our first front loop. Then yarn over and then insert your hook at the third single stitch of the third row, then create your normal double crochet. So for the next front loop, you are going to skip the single crochet next to your front loop and go into the second one, and then create your front loop double crochet. You create your normal double crochet at the next single stitch after your front loop. So basically this is how it's going to be. You can follow the pattern, and then I'll meet you at the end of the row. So we're at the end of our last double crochet from the front loop. That's from the 4th row. So when you are done with your 4th row, this is how it's going to look like. Now for the 5th row, we are going to chain 1 and then single crochet across. So by now you all know what and how to make your single crochet, so I'll meet you at the end when you're done with your single crochet. So this is the end of the 5th row for my single crochet, and chain 2, so for the 5th row we are going to chain 2, and the 5th row we are going with another double crochet. So but in this part, how we are going to work with it is on the part that you have your front loop double crochet, you create your normal double crochet that's at the top of the single stitch on top of the front loop double crochet. Then for your next double crochet, you are placing it from under the double crochet next to your front loop, just like I'm doing in the video. So basically what this part is dealing with is normal double crochet at the top of the single stitch of your front loop double crochet, then another double crochet from the double crochet that is next to your front loop. And if you look at it very well, you will notice that the double crochet that is usually next to the front loop double crochet is kind of like it's inside, you understand? So you have to insert your hook, then pull it up and then pull out your yarn and create a double crochet. So watch very carefully. So this is what we are going to be doing till we get to the stage where we are going to start making our decrease in order to get that triangle shape. So I did about 17 rows before I started decreasing my work. That should be 8 front loop double crochet and then 9 single stitch. So we are going to place a stitch marker after we are done with the 17th row. Meet you at the end where I will show you how to start decreasing your work. So this is what it looks like after my 17th row. It's about 4 to 4.5 inches without being stretched. Now to start making the decrease, we are going to do our normal chain 2, yarn over, then insert your hook at the next double crochet to create your front loop double crochet, then skip the next normal double crochet and then go into the next double crochet and then make your front loop double crochet. Then you continue as you normally do. So I'll meet you at the 4th stitch of the end of the row to show you how to be ending your works. So I'm at the 4th stitch from the end of the 18th row, yarn over, then skip the next double crochet and insert your hook at the second double crochet and then create your front loop double crochet, then yarn over and create another normal double crochet from the last of the single stitch of the 17th row. So that's how you are going to be ending your work, in order to also give it the same curving shape that it's going to be giving the other parts. So chain 1 and do your normal single crochet across for the 19th row. So let me go over what I just explained again. For the decreasing parts, you chain your normal 2, yarn over, then do your normal double crochet at the first stitch. Then for the next stitch, you skip it and then go into the other double crochet next to it and create your front loop double crochet. Then you continue your work as you would normally do. So for the ending part, I'm at the 4th stitch to the last row. So I yarn over and then I do my normal front loop. That's for the 4th stitch. I yarn over, then I skip the next double crochet to it and go into the second one and create my front loop double crochet, and then I yarn over and then create another normal double crochet at the last single stitch. So here you go. So that is what we are going to continue doing till we get the full triangle shape that we want. So for my project, I did about 35 decreasing rows. That is 17 front loop double crochet and then 18 single crochet. So if you add all the rows together, you're going to be having about 51 rows, and that is 25 front loop double crochet and 27 single stitch. So I'll meet you after you are done with the whole rows. That's when you are done with the decreasing rows. I'll meet you at the end to show you how to create the strap for the wrap top. As you can see, it's already having the curved shape that's going towards the triangle shape. So I'm at the 50th row. I want to create my 50th row. So my 50th row is the front loop stitches. So after I'm done with this part, then I'll create my 51 row, which is the single stitch. Then once you are done, I'll show you how to start creating your strap. So this is it. I'm done with the whole decreasing stitch. So I'll start making my straps. So for the straps, I will be using the 2 strand to create about 6 rows of double crochet, just normal double crochet, no front loop. So after the 6 rows of my normal double crochet using 2 strands of the wool, then I drop 1 strand and start making use of 1 to create the remaining double crochet, and I'll be making about 98 rows of double crochet. So I'm using I dropped one of the strand and start using only 1 strand just so I can get the strap to be very stretchy, more elastic, and then easy to tie as well. So that's why I decided to use just one strand and drop the other strand. But if you still want, you can still make use of your 2 strand to finish it off. So I did about 98 rows of normal double crochet. So this is it. This is the 6th row of my normal double crochet. Let me show you how to hide your yarn if you decide to use one strand to complete the remaining row. So you hide one at the back of your work, and then while you are crocheting with one, make sure is right behind the work, so you can place your double crochet together with it. That's attaching it to the back, and then you continue placing your double crochet in order to hide it in between the double crochets, as you can see in the video. So when you reach the end of that particular row, that's the 7th row, then you cut off the other strand that you're no longer using. So you pull it a bit and then cut it off, and then now it's hidden, it's not that visible anymore. So you can continue making the other rows of the strap. So here I'm done with making the straps for the 2 parts of the apple pine top. That's for each of the bust. I'm done with making of their straps, so it's left with joining them together, joining the 2 parts together, and then making the body straps. So this is it. So I hope you didn't forget to place your stitch marker at where you started your decreasing stitch. So you can decide on whichever part you want to join together. It doesn't matter, it will still look the same. So we're going to use single stitch to hold them together, and we're starting from the top to the bottom. We're starting from the top to the bottom, so that when we do our single crochet at the bottom, we can hide the yarns that is still pulling out. So I'm using 2 strands of wool to stitch them up together using single stitch in order to make it strong. So they have many ways of inserting your yarn through your work for stitch up, but I decided to tie mine since I will still be hiding the yarn while I'm stitching them up. So I tied it twice to make it very strong, and then I used my single stitch to stitch them up together. So to ensure that the yarn is hidden very well, I make sure I stretch it and then I place it at the back of my work, so that while I yarn over, the yarn is going to hold it, and in that sense hiding it by the time I'm done with my stitches. Just the same thing we did for the strap. So here I'm at the end of my work. I chain 2, then I cut my yarn and then pull it very well in order to ensure that it's tightened. So I'm going to make single crochet at the bottom, just 2 rows of single crochet at the bottom from the other end to the other end, 2 rows of single crochet. And don't forget, while you are doing your single crochet, don't forget to use the hiding of the yarn pattern to hide the yarn so that it will not make your work untidy. So using 2 strands of my wool again, I use the tying method. There's other method you can use to join wools, but I just wanted to use the tying method because I'll still be hiding the yarns with the work, so it won't be visible, so I just tied it. So I'm done with making of my 2 rows of single crochet. So I'm going to start making the straps of the body from the side. So I'm going to be adding single stitch, 1 in each hole across up to where I placed the stitch marker. So adding 1 single stitch, a single stitch across. So after I was done, I had about 17 stitches of single crochet across. So single crochet in each hole. So I'm done with making my single crochet across up to the point where I place my stitch marker. I'll start making my normal double crochet. So just as we did for the hand strap, we're also doing the same for the body strap. We're going to make about 6 rows of normal double crochet using 2 strands. Then for the remaining strands, we are going to use just 1 strand. So I also made about 98 rows of normal double crochet for the body stand. for the body strap, just the same thing we did for the hand strap. That's what we are doing for the body strap. So using the 2 strand, create 6 rows of normal double crochet. Then after it, start using 1 strand of it to make the remaining normal double crochet. So I'm at the 6th row. Now to start making my 7th row, I'll also show you once again how I hid my yarn. So I started using my 1 strand to make the remaining row. Like I said, it makes it easy for tying and stretchy. And you can also decide to continue with your 2 strands of wool, is up to you. So we are just doing the same thing we did for the strap hand. That's the same thing we are doing for the body strap. So once you're done with the other body strap, you do the same for the other side for the body strap. Finally, here we go. You have your apple pine wrap top. You can decide to style it however you want. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like and comment, and your comments will tell me how to improve better on my next videos. Thank you very much. Bye. See you on my next video.